is not about our capacity to produce. It is about the national policy, the national willingness to support the industry.
The Tema and Takoradi harbors are where most of it arrives.
We've been importing in a very scary manner in the last 10 years. The imports of poultry in particular has been frightening.
As the Europeans like the breasts of the chicken, the other parts are shipped in refrigerated containers to other parts of the world, mostly Africa.
Yeah, I think Ghanaians love chicken. Yeah, a lot.
At a cold store at Aveno here in Accra is one of many storage facilities across the country for these products. Lots of boxes of chicken have just been brought in from Georgia, the Netherlands, and other European countries. Benjamin, a cold store operator, tells me customers want their chicken cheaper.
I say cold store chicken price no from type. Say poultry farm there, like I know the infant says it's Christmas time there. That's where they go. Beko a side akoto life ones no. But I say odi aduane na say open e beko ntema oba cold store na obinya nyafi no okwa kuku aboa bia na say we.
At Oyarefa in Accra, we meet Augustine Amankwa. He started his poultry farm in the early 90s with just 200 birds.
I started this business 1992 with a base of 200, and then now I have about a capacity of 22,000. Broiler, we are doing about 18,000 now, and then layer 22,000 capacity.
Although Augustine has a small area for processing his chicken, he is faced with the reality of the influx of imported ones, often way cheaper than his.
Back at the days, we can produce about 85%. We sell about 85%. I'm talking about the entire country. And then the importation wasn't much. Imported chicken wasn't much. But now there's a big problem. Now we are supplying only 2%. And then we import about 98%, which is very bad. Now it brings our business down. Formerly, I used to dress about 1,000 birds a day. We supply a lot of hotels and then restaurants. But now we dress around 150, 200 a day. We have a lot of workers who we are working with. Because of that, we have to lay some of them off. Yeah, so now we have a big challenge because of imported chicken.
Christmas is a period when consumption of chicken is thought to increase. Poultry farmers raise birds to meet the huge demand. But as the season fast approaches, he is worried about being unable to sell his broilers raised for the big occasion.
I'm having an ad grower scheme, and we have about 18,000 broilers now. And I know if previous year 18,000, they can move easily. But now I'm afraid that maybe if I'm not fortunate, these birds will not finish. But we need to raise them for occasion. That's what we are doing, because we have a lot of ad grower members, about 20 people, and we have about 18,000 broilers now. And we are focusing on December festivity.
Boache Yadom is also a large-scale poultry farmer. He distributes his products to some selected supermarkets and individuals who have the taste for the chicken produced locally.
So the volume of chicken imported into this country and the number of birds that we need to survive as a country, this country we are capable of raising them. So it's all about channeling these funds into local production. And I've always said that they've used that claim that the local farmers are not capable. We are more than capable. That's what I'm saying. If someone tells me that I should gather farmers to produce 1 million birds a month, take or pay, either they take or they pay me, I will be able to gather some farmers and we come together to raise those birds. So
he tells me he was forced to lay off his workers as his business dwindled.
Last year, my average daily production was about 350 birds. Yeah, but because one of my source of supply was not paying on time, and had that assurance that he can resort to using frozen chicken and thawing it as fresh, I've had to stop supplying them. So now, because of that, I'm doing 150, 200 beds a day. At that time, I was having about 18 people working with me, and at the moment, I have close to 7 because I had to lay some people off. And it's really affecting our cash flow and our financing and our employment status. So it's about time that we come to the realization that the effect of buying 1 kilo of frozen chicken is devastating on the Ghanaian market and promotion elsewhere. So we need to come to the understanding of patronizing local chicken.
Boache tells us he has no other option than to produce poultry for eggs rather than meat. According to a Ministry of Food and Agriculture report, local chicken production in the early 2000s accounted for 10% chicken demand, but currently, poultry farmers are producing just 2% of the total chicken demand. President Akufo-Addo in May this year also revealed that Ghana imported over $300 million worth of frozen chicken.
Ghana's livestock sector has been experiencing a steep decline, largely attributed to the high cost of production and competition from cheap imports of livestock and its products. This situation has forced most livestock producers to stop producing meat and to concentrate solely on crop production. Indeed, available data by the Ghana Statistical Service indicates that an estimated 108,301 metric tons of frozen poultry meat was imported in 2010. By 2014, this had doubled to 216,372 metric tons. At the moment, Ghana imports over 300,000 metric tons of poultry meat annually. Even more staggering is the revelation that Ghana's importation of meat products amounts to about $400 million annually. In 2018, livestock local production of 57,871 metric tons accounted for only 19% of the country's meat requirements. The remaining 81% had to be imported with scarce foreign exchange resources to meet local demand.
The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Afriyie-Akoto, revealed there are plans to place a ban on chicken importation.
And I'm saying that in the next 2-3 years, we will have enough production capacity in Ghana to be able to say to anybody who is importing that, look, I'm directing you, go here. Because you see, fact of the matter is that if you have to import primary food into this country, in this office, I have to give you a permit. We want to establish the local capacity to produce what they are importing.
Once you have the local capacity, then the plan is what?
The plan is that we say, hey guys, stop.
Stop importing rice, stop importing poultry.
Yeah, because we have enough production locally. But until you have production locally, you're just punishing the consumer.
And your plan is to turn this around in 3 years?
Yes.
So you're saying that in 3 years, if all goes well,
yes,
we will have a situation where we will stop importing
and we will
through policy.
Yes.
Stop importing rice.
Yes.
Stop importing poultry.
Yes.
That is ambitious.
No, you always say this is ambitious.
When I say ambitious, I'm talking about over-ambitious.
Ghanaians are very timid. One way is, you see, some of us, we know what we are talking about. It's not over-ambition. Look, I mean, the capacity of this country, the endowment that we have, if you really professionally know what is the God has given this country, you wouldn't say, oh, this is ambitious, this is ambitious. I'm saying
there's nothing wrong with ambition, but there's something wrong with over-ambition.
No.
Isn't this over-ambition?
No, it's ambition.
Because of the...
Boache and Augustine, however, doubts this.
The politics in it, the global economic and trade issues that goes with it, no government will have the balls to say, I'm banning importation. And those importing, the benefits to those importing this chicken will never discourage them to, for example, invest in local production. You see, so a few people are benefiting at the expense of the rest.
Always when they want to come to power, you know, their campaigns and a lot of things, they involve some of our leaders, and they just have serial meetings with them. When we come, that's what we are going to do for poultry farmers. But before, the moment they get to the power, it means they ignore us. That's what we have noticed. So we are pleading to them. They have to fulfill their promise about, and we know they are not doing that one for poultry farmers for our favor. Sure, if we raise more birds, it will improve the employment distance. It will employ a lot of birds, people to that sector.
Feed is about 60% of the total cost of poultry production, which is subsidized in Europe. Ghana's poultry farmers have a big worry, having to compete with cheaper chicken from Europe, where farmers enjoy subsidies. A turnaround is critical to save an industry under pressure. For Joy News, Henry Kwesi Bedu's report.